Hello, and welcome to The Rhythms of Music. My name is Mr. James Plunky Branch, but you can call me Plunky. Can you say Plunky? Very good. Today we're going to study about and listen to music. We hope to have lots of fun and also learn things about this wonderful thing that we call music. Now, music is important to our lives. In fact, how many of you listen to music every day by show of hands? Good. If you could stand where I'm standing, you'd see that just about everybody listens to music every day. Music is a very important part of our lives. We hear it on our radios, at home and in our cars. We see it and hear it on television. We hear music as a part of our video games. Music is a very important part of our culture. Now, culture has a very simple definition. Culture is the way people do things, the way they talk, the way they dress, the way they worship, the way they educate their young, the way they go to battle, or the way they make food. All of these are parts of their culture. Music is a very important part of our culture. In fact, we use music in almost every aspect of our culture. Now, there are lots of different kinds of music. Some people like jazz music. Some people like gospel music. Some people like rhythm and blues. Some people like rock and roll. Some people like Latin music. Other people like rap or hip-hop music. What's your favorite kind of music? Well, just remember, whatever you like, there are other kinds of music too, and we can enjoy it all. Now, today, we're going to start with some jazz music. Jazz is a very important part of our American culture. It began about 100 years ago, and this is the sound of jazz music. Now, jazz, like most music, has melody. The melody, can you say melody? The melody is the part of the music that we can listen to and sing along with. But the music also has what we call rhythm. Can you say rhythm? Rhythm is the beat, the groove of the music. And when we're listening to this jazz music, I want you to snap your fingers to the rhythm like this. Now keep snapping your fingers and smile, because jazz is a happy music. Jazz also has energy and something we call improvisation. Can you say improvisation? Say it louder. Improvisation. Improvisation comes from the verb to improvise, and it means to make up something new on the spot. I'm going to make up or improvise a melody called Blues for School. Now listen to the keyboard improvise. And now listen to the guitar. And now listen to the bass, bass, bass. Snap your fingers and we can listen to the drums improvise. Now, jazz music was invented about 100 years ago, but not all jazz sounds old. Sometimes we put contemporary beats or funky rhythms to instrumental music and call it contemporary jazz. Can you say contemporary jazz? Contemporary. This is a song called The African Sax, or Sax Afrique 2. Clap your hands. Clap your hands to the funky rhythm. Now listen to the keyboard. And now the guitar. Now, not all jazz music is all instrumental. Sometimes we use vocals in the jazz music. This is a piece called Just Know That I Love You.
Sometimes we're in different places when my travels keep me away. We're separated by open spaces, but I'm thinking of you night and day. I don't want you to miss me, 'cause I don't want you to feel any pain. Just remember how you kissed me until I come again. Whoa, whoa.
Just know that I love you.
Whoa.
Just know that I care. Just know that I love you. And wherever you are,
my love is there.
just know that I love you. Sing, sing. Just know that I love you.
I love you. Oh.
Just know that I care.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just know that I love you. And wherever you are,
my love is there.
when we're listening to music, it has certain parts. There's the melody, the rhythm, the energy, the improvisation. But now we want to concentrate on the rhythm. And to do this, we're going to practice our rhythm by clapping and doing some clapping exercises. First of all, we're going to learn quarter notes. Can you say quarter notes? Quarter notes are when we clap one clap per beat and we count to 4 over and over again. It sounds like this. Ready? Begin. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good, but all of you weren't clapping. I need you to clap like this on quarter notes. Ready? Begin. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop. This time we're going to do quarter notes. We're only going to clap on beats 1 and 3, but we're not going to clap on beats 2 and 4. Ready? Begin. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop. Very good. This time we're going to have the first, second, and third graders clap on beats 1 and 2. And the fourth, fifth, and sixth graders clap on 3 and 4. Here we go. Ready? Begin. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop. Very good. Now we're going to learn a new rhythm. This is called eighth notes. Can you say eighth notes? Eighth notes. Eighth notes are when we clap 2 claps per beat. It sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right? Everybody clap on eighth notes. Ready? Begin. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and stop. Very good. Now, we're going to learn a concept called syncopation. Can you say syncopation? Syncopation is when we add different rhythms to the rhythm so that it is enhanced or has a different hitch or swing or improvisation to it. So, for example, we might clap it straight and then syncopate. It would sound like this. We clap it straight, then we syncopate. We clap it straight, then we syncopate. Everybody got it? All right, we're going to do it all together. Ready? Begin. We clap it straight, then we syncopate. We clap it straight, then we syncopate. Very good. Now, we're going to use those rhythms, but before we do, I want to do one more exercise with you. This one is kind of complicated. So what we're going to do is we're going to start it off slow and then gradually pick up speed. I want everybody to do this, including teachers and parents and, of course, all of you students. The first beat, we're going to clap our hands. The second beat, we're going to slap our thighs. The third beat, we're just going to touch our chest. And the fourth beat, we're going to make a sound with our mouths. We're going to say, woo. All right, we're going to start slowly. Ready? Begin. 1, 2, 3, woo. 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 Give yourselves a round of applause. Now, some of you second graders did it much better than the teachers. Now, we're going to put all those rhythms together and practice when we do this song called Up and Down. Clap your hands, come on. Clap your hands, come on. Now, clap your hands, come on. Clap your hands. We're going to clap on all 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Quarter notes. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Now 1 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 and 4. Ready? 1, 2, 3, sing. Up and down, the more things change. Round and round, the more they stay the same. Up and down, the more things change. Round and round, the more they stay the same. Eighth notes. Eighth notes. Quarter notes. Two and 4. Sing. Up and down, the more things change. Right. round, the more they stay the same. Up and down, the more they change. Round and round, the more they stay the same. Eighth note. Eighth note. Quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, as I said, there are lots of different kinds of music, but no matter what kind of music you listen to, usually it's played on instruments. There are 4 or 5 different kinds of instruments: percussion instruments, string instruments, horns, electronic instruments. So we're going to learn about those instruments today. We're going to start off with percussion instruments. Can you say percussion?
Percussion.
Percussion. Say it again.
Percussion.
Percussion instruments are instruments that we beat on, that we strike or shake to make the sound. Now, who can give me an example of a percussion instrument? Maybe you. What do you say, a percussion instrument? Yes, the drum is a percussion instrument. Now, there are lots of different kinds of drums, and I want to first start off talking about an African drum called the conga drum. The conga drum stands about this tall from the stage, and it's about this big and round, and I'll imagine that I have 2 of them, one this size and one that size. Now use your imagination. One is here and one is here. And when I play the conga drums, they sound like this. That's the sound of the conga drum. Listen again. Now, there's another kind of African drum that's used in Latin music called the bongo drum. Can you say bongo drum?
Bongo drum.
Now, the bongo drums are smaller versions of the conga drum. They have a skin that's strapped over a log or a hollowed out piece of wood, and we put the skin over top of it, and we call that a membranophone, or the bongos. Now, to play the bongos, I sit down. I have one here and one here, and this is the sound of the bongo drum. Those are 2 kinds of drums, the conga drum and the bongo drum. But there are lots of kinds of percussion instruments, anything that we might shake or strike to make the sound. Who can give me another example of a percussion instrument? Somebody out there said the tambourine, and that's a percussion instrument. This is the tambourine. The tambourine is an African instrument, but this is a modern day version of it, and it's a percussion instrument because we shake it and we strike it to make the sound. Who can think of another percussion instrument? A snare drum is a percussion instrument. This is the sound of the snare drum. Great. Now, there are all kinds of percussion instruments. Another kind of percussion instrument are called idiophones. That's a silly word. Idiophones. Can you say idiophones?
Idiophones.
Idiophones are instruments that we shake and that the body of the instrument makes the sound. So, for example, sticks would be an idiophone because the body of the instrument makes the sound. Another kind of idiophone are shakers. But the grandmother of all the shakers is called the shakeré. Can you say shakeré?
Shakeré.
Now, the shakeré is a beaded gourd. This big part is a gourd, and the gourd is simply a dried out squash. When squashes dry out, they get hard on the outside, and their seeds dry out and rattle around on the inside. And when the Africans discovered this, they said, well, we can make this into an instrument. But they used these gourds, these dried squashes, for any number of things. If you can use your imagination, and if you cut the top of it off, you could use it to carry water or store flour. You could put a hole in it and make it into a birdhouse. But when we shake it, we put beads on the outside so they're louder, and you get the shakeré, and it sounds like this. That's the sound of the shakeré. Let me give you one more percussion instrument. This is called the talking drum. And the talking drum is a West African instrument. It's made with a hollowed out log shaped like an hourglass. It has skin that's stretched on the top and the bottom. And these strings that bind the skins together so that when we squeeze them, they get tighter, or loosen them, they get softer, and you get this sound. That's the talking drum. Can you say talking drum?
Talking drum.
A rhythm with the shaker raise. Now this is an example of polyrhythms. Can you say polyrhythms?
Polyrhythms.
Polyrhythms is when we play more than one rhythm at a time. Many rhythms at once. It's called a polyrhythm. So you can hear the two different shaker rays, the cowbell sound, the other shakers, all these rhythms together. Now, those are percussion instruments. We have a percussionist today. His name is Ty Only. Mr. Only, can everybody say hi, Ty?
Hi, Ty.
Ty is playing the trap drum set. And if you see, there are lots of different drums. He has a big drum called the bass drum. And on the back of the bass drum, he has a pedal. When he steps on the pedal, it has a mallet and hits the bass drum, and it sounds like this. And then he has two tom-toms at the top, and they sound like this. And he has another tom-tom in the back called the floor tom, and it sounds like this. And then in the back, he has the snare drum. You've already heard it before, but the snare drum is like associated with marching band music. This is the snare drum. Now, when Ty plays all these drums together, he can make polyrhythms by himself. For example, he could play a jazz rhythm. Now, I forgot to tell you, he has other instruments, some gongs or cymbals at the top, and they sound like this. Now, he can also make funky rhythms happen. This is some funky drumming. Makes you want to dance. You dance. Or he could also play some go-go rhythms, which is kind of funky, but out of a Washington, D.C. and African base. This is go-go. All right, that's Mr. Only. Everybody give Ty a round of applause. All right, now we want to talk about another kind of instrument called strings. Can you say strings?
Strings.
Strings are instruments that are made with a string or a cord or a piece of catgut that's stretched, and when we pluck the string or bow the string, it makes a sound. So, who can give me an example of a string instrument? Maybe something that we bow to make the sound.
Violin.
Violin. Somebody said the violin. Now, the violin is a classical instrument usually, but sometimes we use it as a fiddle in country western music. The violin is a small, high-pitched string instrument. We put the back of it or the heel of the violin under our neck, and we use the fingers of our left hand to press the strings to change the notes. And we have a bow, and when we drag the bow across the strings, it sounds like this. Very good. Now, the next kind of string I'm talking about is called the cello. Can you say cello? The cello is a large violin. It stands about this round, and it stands about this tall, and you sit down and play the cello. And when you drag the bow across the strings, it sounds like this. I love the sound of a cello. Now, we have two string players on stage with us today. First, I'd like to introduce Mr. Branch. We call him Muzi. Can you say hello, Muzi?
Hello, Muzi.
Muzi is playing the bass guitar. And if you listen to the bass is the lowest part of the sound. The low notes are the bass. Now, if you watch Muzi play the bass, he's plucking the strings with the thumb of his right hand and pressing on the strings with the fingers of his left hand to change the notes. And this style of bass we often refer to as walking the bass, because he walks his fingers up and down, and this is kind of a jazz sound with the bass. But he can play other styles with the bass. How about some? Now, clap your hands out there. 2, 3, 4, stop. Now, Muzi can also turn his bass almost into a percussion instrument while he plucks and beats on the strings, and it sounds like this. Stop. Give Muzi a round of applause. Also on a string instrument is Carl Lester. Everybody say, hello, Carl.
Hello, Carl.
Carl is playing the electric guitar. Now, before he starts, I want you to hear the guitar without the electricity, meaning he'll turn the volume down. You can barely hear it. But we use that wire that comes from his guitar over into what we call an amplifier so that it can amplify or make the sound louder. This is the sound of the electric guitar. Okay, we know you're funky. We know you're funky. Now, how about a jazzier sound? All right, how about some rock and roll music? Enough of that. That's too loud. Give Carl a round of applause. Now, the next kind of instrument we want to explore are called electronic instruments. Can you say electronic instruments?
Electronic instrument.
On the keyboards, or this electronic keyboard, is Mr. J.L. Harris. You can call him J.L., and J.L. is going to play some sounds on his electronic keyboard. Now, the wonderful thing about electronic keyboards is they can sound like lots of different instruments. In fact, when I was playing the violin and the cello, it was the keyboard making that sound. J.L., can you play something like gospel music? And J.L., can you play some, whatever you like? Clap your hands, clap your hands. One, two, three, four, stop. Give JL a round of applause. Now we have another electronic instrument. This is an electronic drum machine or a sampling drum machine. Can you say sampling drum machine?
Sampling drum machine.
Now, a sampler is an instrument or an instrument that can take a piece or sample a sound and make it into other sounds or make it into rhythms. This is Jemiah Branch. We call him Fire. Everybody say, hello, Fire. Now, Fire is playing this sampling drum machine. Listen to it. Listen to the sounds he can make. So Fire is making all those sounds by himself. Now, Fire, can you give me kind of a hip-hop beat? He says he can. Everybody dance, dance. With a hip-hop swing, with a hip-hop swing, with a hip-hop swing, everybody do a thing. Well, all right, well, all right, well, all right. That's Fire. Give him a round of applause. Everybody say Fire. Hello, Fire, Fire. Now, the last kind of instruments that I want to talk about are called the horns. There are two kinds of horns, brass and woodwinds. Can you say brass?
Brass.
And woodwinds.
And woodwinds.
We're going to start off with some woodwinds. The very basic horn or woodwind. They're called horns because originally people would cut off the horns of an antelope or a cow and blow into it and make sound. But the next kind of instrument was called a flute. Let me show you an African flute. These are African flutes that are pipes of bamboo strapped together of different sizes. And we make sound on the flute by blowing across it so that the air vibrates in the tube. And when the air vibrates in the tube, it makes this kind of sound. Almost like when you can blow across a soda bottle, the same kind of principle. The air vibrates in the tube. The size of the tube determines the note. So if we blow on a medium-sized tube, we get a medium-sized note. If we blow on a large tube, we get a low note. If we blow on a smaller tube, we get a high note. So we change notes on this flute by changing the pipe that we blow across. Another African flute. This one we'll use to play a melody. Melody. Here we go. 2, 3. Now, here's the modern day flute. It's made out of metal, but it has a similar sound. We blow across this part, the air vibrates in the tube, and we use our fingers to cover it and uncover holes so that you're using more or less of the pipe. That's the sound of the flute. Now I'd like to show you my very favorite instrument. It's called the saxophone. Can you say saxophone?
Saxophone.
Now, the saxophone was invented by a man named Adolph Sax. He invented this instrument and named it after himself. He made a brass instrument that functioned like a woodwind. He put a brass body, and then he put keys and pads on it, just like on the flute. And he called it the saxophone. He made a whole family of these instruments. The contrabass sax stands about this tall. Then he made a bass sax, a baritone sax. This one is the tenor sax. Can you say tenor sax?
Tenor sax.
The tenor sax is my favorite instrument of all. I like it for a lot of reasons. Number one, I like the sound of the tenor sax. I also like it because it has a wide range. It can be very low or very high. And I like this instrument because it can be very emotional. It can be sad, or it can be happy. It can be angry and mean, especially if you don't pay attention. And I like this instrument because it can be loving and tender. Now this is the alto saxophone. Can you say alto saxophone?
Alto saxophone.
Now the alto saxophone is smaller than the tenor. Should it sound higher or lower, do you think?
Higher.
Higher because it's smaller. This is the sound of the alto sax. That's the alto sax. Now I'd like to show you the soprano sax. Can you say soprano sax?
Soprano sax.
Now the soprano sax is very high pitched. It sings in the range of a lady's voice. This is the sound of the soprano. Now you've met all the instruments in the band, and I want to test your ability to listen. And to do this, we're going to play a little game. The game is called Name This Song. And in this game, I'm only going to play the first 5 notes of a song, and then I want you to guess the name of the song. Here we go. Here's the first one. Let me play it again. Who knows the name of that song? Somebody said, "This old man." Let's sing it. 2, 1, 2.
This old man, he play one, he play knick-knack on my drum, the knick-knack, paddywhack, give it all a bone. This old man came rolling home. This old man, he play
2.
he play knick-knack on my shoe with the knick-knack, paddywhack, give it all a bone. This old man came rolling home. This old man, he play
3.
he play knick-knack on my knee with the knick-knack, paddywhack, give it all a bone. This old man came rolling.
That was great, boys and girls. Now, here's the second song. I'm only going to play the first few notes, and you tell me the name of the song. No, that's not right. Listen again.
I know.
What is it?
The itsy bitsy spider.
Itsy Bitsy Spider. Let's sing it. 2, 3, 4.
Itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun
Very good, boys and girls. Now, here's another one. This one is a tricky one, so I want you to pay attention. I'm only going to play the first few notes.
I know.
Chip thinks she knows, but let me see if you know. What do you say? Twinkle, twinkle, little
Twinkle,
star.
twinkle,
All right, let's sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. 1, 2, ready, begin.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.
Well, that was a great Twinkle, Twinkle, but that's not the song I was thinking about. I was thinking about Baba Black Sheep. Let's sing it. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Baba Black Sheep had an animal. Yes, sir, 3 bags full. One for my master, one for my slave, one for the little one who lives in the lake. Baba Black Sheep had an animal. Yes, sir, 3 bags full.
Well, that was the jazziest Baba Black Sheep ever, but that still wasn't the song I was thinking about. I was thinking about knows another song that sounds like that.
Oh, I know.
ABC, let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4.
C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I've sung my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me?
Give yourselves a round of applause, boys and girls.
Yay.
Now I'm going to do another song. I'm only going to play the first few notes, but I'll give you a hint. This is a song you may have heard in church. Anybody know that? Listen again. Who knows it now? That's right, Kumbaya. Let's sing it. Very good, boys and girls. Now, I'm going to try another song. This one you may have heard on TV. Anybody have an idea? Have you ever heard that before?
Everybody knows that one.
What is it, Chip?
Sesame Street.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's one musician you haven't met yet. Her name is Charlene Chip Page Green, but you can call her Chip. Say hello, Chip.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
Chip is going to sing a very special song that we've written just for you. It's called We Rise. We hope you will be inspired. You can do anything that you want to. You can have anything that you need. You can do anything that you want to. You can be anything that you need. You can do anything that you want to. You can have anything that you need. You can do anything that you want to. You can do anything.
We rise and we reach for the sky. When we let spirit soar, can have so much more.
Sing it again. Sing it again.
We rise and we reach for the sky. When we let spirits soar, we can have so much more.
You can do anything that you want to. You can have anything that you need.
To be all you want to be, know that you can. Go where you want, you need to have a plan. And not only have one, follow it. Pride, swallow it. When you fly, aim high. Don't worry about the landing, you'll succeed beyond your understanding. On your way, don't carry a load. Be the wizard at the end of the road. To have peace, fight the good fight. To find love, soar to higher heights. And once you're up high enough, big issues or small, yes, you can master it all.
We rise, and we would be wise to place nothing above the value of our love.
Clap your hands, everybody. Clap your hands.
Rise, oh rise,
Stand up and dance. Stand up and dance. Everybody, wherever you are, stand up. Stand up, teachers. Stand up, second graders. Stand up, third, fourth, fifth graders. Stand up. Clap your hands. Now here's what we're gonna do. While you're up dancing, move your body. We have this special dance called drop. When I say don't stop, drop, then you go down and shake your bottom. Here we go with practice. Don't stop. Drop. That was pretty good. Now, clap your hands, y'all. Clap your hands, y'all. Clap your hands and sing and dance. Clap your hands, y'all. Y'all ready? Here we go. Don't stop. Drop. You're looking good out there. You're looking good, second graders, first graders, kindergarten, fifth graders. Here we go. Don't stop. Woo! Drop. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see y'all next time. Thank you. You've been listening to The Rhythms of Music with Plunky and Oneness. The Rhythms of Music with Plunky and Oneness. Just remember, only you can be you. Only you can be all the things that it's meant for you to be. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Let it out through your mouth. Think about good things. Smile.